Hello everyone, Sander here again. And this video today is the second question type for the IELTS Writing Task 2, the essay. Okay, the question that we're going to be answering today is agree or disagree. Now then, I just want to make something very clear here because there's two very similar questions in the IELTS essay section. Agree or disagree. There's what extent do you agree or disagree? And there's another question that says, do you agree or disagree? So you've noted the subtle differences. To what extent do you agree or disagree? That allows you to partially agree and partially disagree. And that's probably the most common type. And when you see that, you can actually discuss it a bit more, and it makes it a lot easier. But if you see agree or disagree, you don't have any option. You've got to choose one or the other, and then you answer it in that format. But today our question type is, to what extent do you agree or disagree? So let's take a look at what we're going to be answering today. So here's our question today. Some feel that governments should prioritize healthcare instead of other important areas. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So there we are, that's the question. Just read it one more time so we fully understand it. Some feel that governments should prioritize healthcare instead of other important areas. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Good. Well, let's get on with getting our essay sorted out for this question. So now we know our question. What's the first thing we've got to do? Can you remember? Yes, we've got to make our plan. Before we write anything, we have to make our plan. And then what do we do after that? You've got it. We write our introduction. And what do we have to do in our introduction? Yes, we have to paraphrase the actual task, and then we have to construct our thesis. And once we've done that, we can start writing our body paragraphs. Now, we can write 2 or 3, and we will decide that when we do our plan, how many body paragraphs we're going to have. I prefer 3 if we can get it, but many times you can only manage to do 2. So we'll see after our plan. And once we've done our body paragraphs, the last thing is the conclusion. Yep. And what we've got to do is write 250 words in 40 minutes. So as we already know, time is of the essence. It's something we've not got a lot to use. We've got to use our time sparingly and work as quickly as we can. So we don't overcomplicate things. We try to keep things fairly simple. We do that by using vocabulary that we're perfectly capable of using in the context, etc., that is needed to be used. And we also try to develop our grammar structures, etc., to the level that's going to get us into the high band scores, and that's important. So what exactly is our plan? Well, my plan is, because I like to have 3 body paragraphs, you might be different, you might be happy with 2. Depends on how you've broken it down in your mind, how you want to answer this. But I like 3 paragraphs. I think it gives me more to write about, and certainly no problem reaching the words quickly. And time, again, time is of the essence, getting it down onto paper quickly. So my body paragraph 1, I'd like to discuss the statement explaining that people need more than healthcare to survive. And my body paragraph 2, bring out other essentials that are required by the population, and you know what I'm talking about, like the economy, education, etc., blah blah blah. And body paragraph 3, I would like to explain that the government should take a balanced approach and consider all the essential aspects equally. So that would be my plan, that is my plan, and that's what I'm going to do in this video. Okay, as we're practicing to take this IELTS essay soon, I'd just like to remind you about the important aspect. If we want to get a high band score, we've got to be looking at our complex structures as far as the grammar of our essay is concerned. So when writing our paragraphs, try to start each with a dependent word, which should ensure that you get a complex sentence. That's one of the key areas that they're looking for. And if possible, add a second independent clause. So upgrading your whole part that you're writing to a complex compound sentence, which is important. And that's what you should try to do. Use words to start your paragraph. Use words, one of these words here. If you don't have a list of them, stop the video and make a quick list of these words. These are key to getting you into the high band scores. Paraphrasing, absolutely essential to get this right, but not to spend too much time on it. We're going to take the task that we've been given and change that into our own words as quickly as we possibly can. So we're not looking for huge complex changes, we're looking just to make sure that we've paraphrased it and put it into our own words. So let's try changing the sentence structure first and moving the health care to another part of the sentence, etc. And then look at changing the words in the task to our own words. So if I do this, I come up with giving health services priority over other essential aspects is considered by some to be a government responsibility. So I've moved the beginning to the end and I've changed some words, and that's absolutely fine and enough paraphrasing to get us well through into the good aspects of a good essay. Now we have our plan and we've done our paraphrasing of the task. It's time to create our thesis, which outlines what we're going to say and what give our overall opinion of of the task in itself, because we've been asked to what extent do we agree or disagree. We're going to give all this in our thesis and explain what we're going to put into our essay. And what I've said here is, although giving the highest priority to a nation's health may seem to be a good idea and appeal to many, considering health alone cannot sustain a nation, I disagree with this train of thought and believe an effective government must pay equal attention to key aspects required for sustainable growth. There you go. I've said I disagree to a great extent about it, and I say why I disagree and what I believe should be right. Now we have the paraphrasing of our task in hand, and we also have our thesis, which we're now going to combine, and that will give us our introduction paragraph. And as we can see, that's 66 words, which is absolutely spot on. I like to have between 60 and 80 words in my introduction. This is perfect, 66 words, we're way into the ballpark perfectly. I just want to make another couple of comments about this introductory paragraph and the importance of it, because this really outlines what we're going to do in our essay, and it gives a good overview of our plan for the essay. This is going to be very important later as well when we come to writing our conclusion, because all we've got to do in our conclusion to get a very good conclusion and a very effective conclusion is to re-engineer our introduction into a conclusion. We've put it all down already, a little bit of re-engineering, and we can have that as our conclusion paragraph as well, as you will see later. Now we're beginning to put the meat on the bone, as so to speak, and we're going to start with our first body paragraph, and this is what I've written for that. Take note. Even if a government gives top priority to healthcare, people require other supporting services to live a normal life, and these also require a priority. Having good medical facilities in the way of hospitals and medical staff that are available to the population at large is important. Government responsibilities go far beyond just maintaining a healthy population, and I believe these need equal priority. Good. That's our first body paragraph. Now just take a quick note that I've started this body paragraph with a dependent clause, even if a government gives top priority to healthcare. So that's pushing me to write more and to turn this into a complex sentence. Body paragraph 2. This is where we decided in our plan we were going to talk about additional aspects that the public need for their own good welfare, and we would discuss this in this body paragraph 2. So let's go on and do that now. As you can see, what I've written here is, when we consider other aspects that a population needs for social well-being, such as the economy and education, to name just but two, are these not equally important? It's a question which I go on to answer myself. I think so. The world is still emerging from a pandemic where governments were forced to give health priority over all else, and now we can see the many negative aspects that were created from this. Now this is good because we've actually used an example, the pandemic from the last few years, and that's an excellent example to be using in an essay. The final body paragraph which I planned to write about a government should consider many areas with equal priority, and this is what I've said here. After reviewing the role of governance and the responsibilities to a nation, the need for a well-balanced overview on all important issues is required. The social well-being of citizens in any country or state is the priority and can be achieved by taking all factors into account equally. Quite short, it's only a 49 word, but it's a one that could be expanded or contracted to if we wanted to make up or reduce our word total in our essay. I can't see you wanting to reduce it, but if you wanted to build it up more, this is a third paragraph where you could probably do that easily. For reference, I've put our introductory paragraph here, and then you can see that I've re-engineered that a little bit to give us our conclusion, which I've written: considering all that has been said about giving healthcare an overriding priority against other important aspects, the essay has argued that for best results, good governance needs to consider all the important aspects on an equal basis. This will allow the full provision of effective social welfare. So there you have it. That's the conclusion. There you have it, my friends. The agree and disagree, and to what extent, that's the practice that I give you today. You know, the essay is not difficult. It's just practicing and getting it into your routine, the way you plan it. Time is of the essence. Time management's the big practice aspect here. You've got 40 minutes to do all that we've done today. It shouldn't be a problem. As long as you've practiced enough and you're in the right frame of mind, then you can achieve it easily. But achieving it in the way that you're going to get a high band score is the important aspect. And as I say, using these dependent words to get your sentences off in the right direction is critically important, actually. And I hope you understand that and practice that, because it's where you want to be. Okay, this one was the agree, disagree, and to what extent. I will do a straightforward agree or disagree video in the very near future, and I will be answering the other questions that you're likely to meet in the IELTS writing task 2, the essay. I'll be doing a series of them, but we're covering the same things and how to progress them. So let's keep going. And if you're enjoying this series and they're helping you, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It would certainly help me and keep me motivated. So thanks for that, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye for now.